the world, illustrating the profound bond between student and mentor. Renowned physicist Albert Einstein poses for a portrait in 1947. This photograph was taken 26 years after he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics, capturing the scientist in his later years as a global icon. Activist Sojourner Truth holds a photograph of her grandson, James Caldwell, on her lap. Caldwell served in the 54th Massachusetts Regiment and survived imprisonment during the Civil War, representing the family's multi-generational fight for freedom. In 1994, Nelson Mandela revisits the small cell on Robben Island where he spent 18 years. The emotional moment captures the transition from political prisoner to the first black president of a democratic South Africa. Mother Teresa tends to a patient at her hospice for the destitute and dying in Kolkata, India, in 1969. The image captures her lifelong dedication to serving the poorest members of society with compassion and dignity. American evangelist Billy Graham walks hand in hand with local children during a visit to Nigeria in 1960. The photo captures a moment of connection during his massive international crusade to spread his religious message across Africa. Todd Beamer and the passengers of United Flight 93 fought back against hijackers on September 11, 2001. Their heroic actions forced the plane down in a Pennsylvania field, sacrificing their lives to prevent further devastation. An unidentified protester known as Tank Man stands defiantly before a column of tanks in Tiananmen Square in 1989. His solitary act of nonviolent resistance became an enduring global symbol of the struggle against state oppression. Security guard Frank Wills discovered the Watergate break-in by noticing tape on a door lock in 1972. His routine observation triggered the political scandal that eventually led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon. Princess Fawzia Fuad of Egypt poses for a royal portrait, showcasing her striking beauty. Briefly, the Queen of Iran. She was often compared to Hollywood stars for her glamour and elegance during the mid-20th century. Actress Marpessa Dawn is playfully carried and kissed by her husband, Eric Vander, circa 1961. The candid moment captures the joy and romance of the star, best known for her role in Black Orpheus. Jamie Lee Curtis and Jennifer Love Hewitt posed together in 1998. The photo unites two generations of scream queens, linking the star of Halloween with the lead actress of I Know What You Did Last Summer. A fireman from the London Fire Brigade models a primitive smoke helmet in 1908. The apparatus, resembling a deep-sea diver's gear, illustrates the early cumbersome technology used to protect first responders from hazardous fumes. 11 construction workers eat lunch on a steel beam 69 stories above New York City in 1932. This iconic promotional photo for Rockefeller Center symbolized hope and resilience during the height of the Great Depression. 5-year-old Harold Walker picks cotton in Oklahoma in 1916. Charged with harvesting nearly 25 pounds a day, his image serves as a stark reminder of the prevalence of child labor in American agriculture during that era. A rare family portrait from 1982 shows North Korean leader Kim Jong-il with his family. The image offers a glimpse into the private life of the secretive dynasty that has ruled the isolated nation for decades. Heath Ledger, Michelle Williams, Anne Hathaway, and Jake Gyllenhaal attend the Toronto Film Festival in 2005. The young cast poses together to promote Brokeback Mountain, a film that would become a landmark in cinema history. Leonard Nimoy appears in the music video for the Bengals Going Down to Liverpool in 1984. The Star Trek actor drives the car, making a surprising and humorous cameo that delighted fans of the pop band. Soul singer Jackie Wilson poses with bunnies at the Playboy Club in 1962. The photo captures the energetic performer enjoying the nightlife and glamour associated with the famous club circuit during the swinging 60s. A candid street photo captures a lunch break in New York City in 1956. The image documents the fashion, atmosphere, and daily rhythm of mid-century Manhattan, freezing a moment of urban life in time. First Lady Jackie Kennedy visits the Taj Mahal in 1962. Photographed by Art Rickerby, the image captures her elegance against the backdrop of the monument, highlighting her successful diplomatic goodwill tour of India and Pakistan. Soviet soldiers feed a wild polar bear from their tank during an expedition in 1950. The surreal image captures a rare moment of interaction between military forces and Arctic wildlife in the harsh, frozen environment. David Bowie stands outside L'Hotel on the left bank in Paris in 1976. Photographed by Andrew Kent, the image captures the Thin White Duke era, showcasing the musician's cool, detached style during his European travels. Marilyn Monroe is photographed by Gordon Parks in New York in 1956. The soft, elegant portrait captures the Hollywood icon in a moment of quiet introspection, distinct from her usual high-energy bombshell public persona. Charlie Chaplin stands on the shoulders of Douglas Fairbanks to rally crowds at Federal Hall in 1918. The silent film star was promoting Liberty bonds, using his massive celebrity to support the American war effort. NASA scientists work with a massive chalkboard of complex calculations in 1961. Before digital computers became dominant, these mathematicians relied on manual equations to chart the trajectories that would eventually send humans into space. American troops treat a wounded dog on the Orote Peninsula in 1944. The compassionate moment amidst the Battle of Guam highlights the bond between soldiers and animals, even in the brutal conditions of the Pacific War. A young Bruce Springsteen leans against a police car after being pulled over for speeding in 1978. The candid photo captures the rock star's rebellious image just as he was becoming a voice for the working class. Dolly Parton and her reclusive husband, Carl Dean, pose outside their Nashville apartment in 1967. The rare photo captures the couple early in their marriage, shortly before Parton became a global country music superstar. Beatle George Harrison and Fleetwood Mac's Stevie Nicks posed together in 1978. The photo unites two legends of rock music, capturing a moment of camaraderie between the British icon and the American songwriting queen. Albert Einstein walks with Professors Eisenhart and Mayer on his first day at Princeton University in 1933. Having fled Nazi Germany, the physicist settles into his new role at the Institute for Advanced Study. Farrah Fawcett flashes her famous smile at a charity tennis match in 1976. The photo captures the actress at the height of her popularity, embodying the sporty, sun-kissed aesthetic that defined 1970s American beauty. The Woolworth Building towers over the New York City skyline in 1926. Once the tallest building in the world, this architectural marvel represents the rapid vertical expansion and ambition of the Roaring Twenties metropolis. Model Vicki Dugan poses in her signature backless dress at the Beverly Hills Hotel in 1957. Her daring fashion style turned heads and reportedly inspired the character of Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. A grim photo from 1927. France shows unwanted babies for sale. The shocking image highlights the desperation and lack of social support systems that led to such tragic circumstances for impoverished families in the past. A 16-year-old German anti-aircraft soldier cries after being captured during World War II. The harrowing image illustrates the desperation of the Nazi regime, which resorted to drafting children as their military situation collapsed. A group of farm cats gathers to drink fresh milk in 1954. Photographed by Nat Farbman for Life magazine, the charming image captures a simple, rustic moment of animal instinct and rural life. A rare 19th century male chastity belt is displayed, designed to prevent masturbation. These devices were often created based on the pseudoscientific belief that sexual self-gratification caused insanity and various physical ailments during the Victorian era. A sailor meets his baby for the first time after spending 14 months at sea in 1940. While looking at his wife, the humorous photo suggests he might have missed her just as much as the child. The very first rocket launch from Cape Canaveral takes place in 1950. The Bumper 8 launch marked the beginning of the site's history as the primary hub for American space exploration and technological advancement. Hospital patients smile as live ducklings are used for medical therapy in 1956. The interaction brings a unique form of joy and comfort to healing, illustrating early recognition of the benefits of animal-assisted therapy. Utility poles are buried under 40 feet of snow during a blizzard in North Dakota in 1966. The photo illustrates the extreme weather conditions of the Great Plains and the power of the historic storm. Princess Elizabeth works as a mechanic in the Auxiliary Territorial Service in 1945. The future Queen joined the war effort to drive and repair ambulances, showing her dedication to national service during World War II. A Serbian soldier sleeps on the ground while his father keeps watch near Belgrade in 1914. The poignant image captures the deep familial bonds and personal sacrifices made during the chaos of the First World War. Car hops wearing shorts and cowboy boots serve customers at the Log Lodge Tavern in Dallas, 1940. The photo captures the unique service culture and fashion of Texas dining establishments just before the U.S. entered WAS. A young French girl beams with pure joy while playing with her cat in 1959. This heartwarming, candid photograph captures the simple, timeless happiness of childhood companionship with a pet in a post-war European setting. John F. Kennedy campaigns door-to-door in West Virginia during the 1960 Democratic primary. Standing on a humble porch, the future president works personally to win over voters in a crucial state for his election bid. A little girl holds a penguin's flipper as they walk together at the London Zoo in 1937. The charming image captures a dangerous yet delightful interaction between humans and animals that would be impossible today. Two European women and a local man watch the sunset from the top of a pyramid in 1925. The image captures the adventurous spirit of early 20th century tourism before climbing the monuments was strictly prohibited. Fearless workers paint the Eiffel Tower in 1932 without modern safety equipment. Balancing high above Paris, they maintain the iron lattice structure, illustrating the dangerous working conditions accepted during the early 20th century. A German soldier collapses in grief upon returning to Frankfurt in 1946. Finding his home in ruins and family likely gone, the image captures the total devastation and personal tragedy facing post-war Germany. Judy Garland poses with her young daughter Liza Minnelli in 1947. The photo captures the bond between the legendary star and her child, who would grow up to become an Oscar-winning entertainment icon herself. A British blacksmith removes the leg irons from a slave in 1907. The powerful image symbolizes the end of captivity and the physical reality of liberation, likely taken in a region under colonial administration. A 16-year-old Bill Clinton shakes hands with President John F. Kennedy in 1963. The meeting at the White House Boys Nation event inspired the teenager to pursue the political career that led him to the presidency. Actress Jodie Foster poses for a portrait. Known for her intelligence and early start as a child star and taxi driver, she evolved into one of Hollywood's most respected actresses and directors. Princess Elizabeth poses in her ATS uniform in 1945. During World War II, the future queen trained as a driver and mechanic, eager to contribute to the national war effort alongside her fellow citizens. A steelworker stands casually near the edge of the Empire State Building during construction. The dizzying photo highlights the bravery and lack of safety gear for the men who built the New York skyline. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, known as the King and Queen of the West, pose together. The married couple starred in numerous Western films and television shows, becoming icons of American cowboy culture. Fido, Abraham Lincoln's beloved mixed-breed dog, is photographed in 1860. Before leaving for Washington, Lincoln left Fido with friends to spare him the stress of travel, making him the first presidential dog to be photographed. Danish explorer Einar Mikkelsen is photographed in 1912 after being stranded in Greenland for 2 years. His haggard appearance tells the story of his survival against starvation and the Arctic elements during the Alabama expedition. Swedish actress Ingrid Bergman poses for a portrait. The star of Casablanca is remembered for her immense talent and natural beauty. Uniquely, she passed away on her birthday in 1982 at the age of 67. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivers his historic "I Have a Dream" speech in Washington, D.C. in 1963. Speaking to 250,000 people, he shared his vision of racial equality, defining the civil rights movement. East Berlin soldiers refused to shake hands with West Berliners after the fall of the wall in 1989. The image captures the lingering tension and discipline of the guards despite the collapse of the border. Heather Thomas and Heather Locklear posed together in the 1980s. With their feathered hair and high-cut fashion, the two television stars perfectly embody the signature aesthetic and glamour that defined the decade's pop culture. A colorized photo captures the massive Hudson's department store in Detroit during the 1940s. The bustling street scene highlights the economic power of the city and the grandeur of retail architecture in the mid-20th century. Sunlight streams through the windows of Grand Central Terminal in 1929. The atmospheric view is now impossible to replicate as towering skyscrapers built around the station have permanently blocked the path of the sunbeams. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Len Dawson enjoys a cigarette and a Fresca during halftime in 1967. The candid image highlights how much professional athlete standards regarding health and conditioning have changed over the decades. An ambrotype portrait captures an elderly Napoleonic War veteran and his wife in 1860. He proudly wears the St. Helena Medal, honoring his service in the Grande Armée decades after the conflicts had ended. A woman carries a child in a traditional Tikanagan cradleboard in Sandy Lake, Ontario in 1956. The photo documents the enduring cultural practices of Indigenous mothers in the Canadian North during the mid-20th century. Richard Fisk snaps a candid photo of Johnny Cash during a moose hunt in Newfoundland in 1961. The image captures the man in black in a rare, relaxed moment enjoying the outdoors. Rutger Hauer poses on the set of Ridley Scott's Blade Runner in 1982. His portrayal of the replicant Roy Batty became legendary, particularly for his improvised Tears in Rain monologue at the film's climax. Janis Joplin poses with her psychedelic Porsche 356 Cabriolet. The rock icon's car, painted with a kaleidoscopic mural, became as famous as her voice, symbolizing the free-spirited counterculture of the 1960s music scene. A colorized photo shows Impressionist master Claude Monet in his Giverny garden in 1905. Surrounded by the flowers and water lilies he famously painted, the image captures the artist in his creative sanctuary. John Edward Jones tragically died in Utah's Nutty Putty Cave in 2009. He became hopelessly stuck upside down in a narrow passage, leading to a sealed closure of the cave with his body remaining inside. A vintage photo captures a visit to Santa Claus in the 1960s. The image evokes nostalgia for mid-century holiday traditions, with the child interacting with a costumed Saint Nick in a classic department store setting.